Have you ever thought about poetry as something more than just words on a page? Well, today, we're going to explore just that. We're diving into how poetry can be this incredibly powerful way to express what's in our hearts and even become a form of worship. And I think this verse from Psalm 19 is the perfect place to start. Let's just let that sink in. May the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be pleasing in your sight. This is more than just a nice thought, right? It's a statement of intent. It sets the stage for everything we're talking about, the idea that our words, our creativity can be an offering. So how do we actually do that? How do we build a poem that carries all that meaning? Well, just like a builder needs tools, a poet does too. So let's get into the essential building blocks you'll need to construct your verses with real purpose.
First up, the stanza. This one's super simple. Just think of it like a paragraph, but for poetry. It's how you group your ideas together and give your poem a nice, clean structure. Easy enough, right? Okay, next up is the simile. Now, this is a tool that really brings your poetry to life. You're just comparing two things using the words like or as. For example, saying, hope is like a candle in the dark. You instantly see that picture in your mind, don't you? It's a powerful way to create an image. And speaking of making things vivid, let's talk about personification. This is where you give human traits to things that aren't human. So when you write, the waves danced with joy, you're not just saying the water was moving. No, you're making those waves feel alive, feel emotion. It's a fantastic technique. Now, repetition. This might seem obvious, but it is such a powerful tool. When you repeat a word or a phrase, like run, 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 you're creating a rhythm, and you're making the reader pay attention. You're basically saying, hey, listen up, this part is important. Okay, this one is just fun. Alliteration. This is all about the sound of your words. It's when you repeat that first sound in a bunch of words, like wild winds whipped. It just sounds so cool to say and read, and it makes your poem really memorable. So we have all these awesome tools, stanzas, similes, alliteration, but we have to remember what they're all for. They all serve one big purpose, to get your theme across. The theme is the heart of your poem. It's the big idea, the truth you really want to share with your reader. All right, so we've got the what and the how of poetry down, but now we're going to get to the most important part of all, the why. Why are we writing in the first place? What's the deeper reason behind putting these words on the page? I want you to really think about this for a second. How can this whole poetry thing become more than just a hobby? How can it actually be a spiritual practice? Well, when we write about our faith, our hopes, our questions, we're not just writing, we're reflecting, we're praying, we're building a deeper connection. Okay, theory is great, but now it's time to put it all into practice. This is your chance. It's time to take all those building blocks we just talked about and create something that comes straight from your own heart. So here's your mission. I want you to write a short poem, maybe 6 to 10 lines. Try to use just one of those figurative language tools we talked about, like a simile, and try to use one sound tool, like alliteration. And most importantly, pick a theme that means something to you. Hope, kindness, faith, whatever it is. And listen, please don't worry about making it perfect. That's not the goal here. The goal is to just let your heart guide your words. You have all the tools you need. Just let your own voice come through. And always remember, what you're creating here is so much more than an assignment. When you write from a place of gratitude or praise, your little poem becomes this beautiful act of worship. Let's look at this little poem here. I'll read it aloud. Not just noise, not just rhyme, but poems that carry light, that speak of what's good, of what's true, that please the heart of God. See how that works? The language is so simple, but because of that, the message is incredibly powerful and clear. It really is an offering. And hey, if you think using poetry for worship is a new idea, get this. Psalm 119, the longest chapter in the entire Bible, is actually one giant epic poem. It's an acrostic, which means each section starts with the next letter of the Hebrew alphabet. How cool is that? This has been going on for a long, long time. Okay, so all of this, the tools, the practice, the history, it all leads us to one central big idea. This is the heart of what we're learning today. Here it is, plain and simple. Poetry isn't just for the page, it's for the heart. And when we use our poems to honor God, they transform into something else entirely. They become worship.
You know, this whole idea of having a purpose behind our words, it points to something even bigger. It's why we believe that just learning skills isn't enough. An education that doesn't include morality can actually be a harmful thing. It's not enough to know how to do something. We have to understand why we're doing it.
I mean, really think about it. What's the point of being smart or talented if we end up making choices that hurt people, including ourselves? True education, the best kind, doesn't just build our minds, it builds our character too. And there's this incredible promise that backs this up. In Romans, it says that keeping your mind focused on spiritual things leads to life and peace. That peace of mind is a real, tangible result of an education that feeds your spirit as well as your intellect. So, as we wrap up, I want to leave you with a question to carry with you. How will you use your words today, whether it's in a poem or just in a conversation, to bring a little more light and a little more truth into the world? The power really is in your hands.